As a follow-up to our conversation last week about the WIT symposium that's going on here shortly, we're being joined today by Lesley P. Berglund, who's the co-founder and chairman of WISE Academy, and WISE stands for Wine Industry Sales Education. Extremely unique. It offers a comprehensive curriculum for wine industry professionals. WISE is the only wine industry education, training, and certification program dedicated solely to direct-to-consumer sales and marketing. For instance, and I'm quoting from, or this quote is from, I want to say a year ago, but still, it's probably even grown since then. The online sales for wine clubs for a couple of wineries within a 4-month period grew from 1.5% to 3.2% after taking WISE training. Lesley, that is a very significant statement, and that press release is dated, a year and a half, 2 years ago. I would imagine that kind of growth potential is much larger than that at this point.
Yes, thanks for having me, Lynn. It certainly is. We do with WISE is really help wineries with all of their direct-to-consumer businesses. So that specific quote was around a large winery that has a lot of traffic, and what percentage of their visitors do they convert to wine club membership. And so if you have a winery that has hundreds of thousands of members, converting 3.5% is pretty phenomenal.
Yes. Wow. Okay. So, and this is not even based on people visiting the winery and then becoming members of the wine club. This is even people who have purchased from them online, or happened upon the website online.
Yes, those are the two main ways that wineries sign up members for their wine club, the most for on-site visits.
So what are some classes that you have scheduled, or list off some of the titles of classes that you have? And correct me if I'm wrong, people can participate in face-to-face classes and also online classes?
Actually, all of our classes are face-to-face. Okay. And so what WISE does is we've studied a lot about how adults learn. Okay. And what we've found is that by having an experiential classroom experience, so it's never just lecture. It's very much you learn a new concept and then you're immediately role playing, working in small breakout groups. Someone has actually called it kind of Montessori for adults. You're working through new concepts, and that's how it works. So some upcoming classes include, we have one of our most popular ones is our WISE 101, which is a wine fluency course. A lot of people who are just getting into the wine industry and want to learn the business side of wine, the lexicon and vocabulary, how sales and marketing work, etc.
Okay.
That's always done in a 2-day boot camp, and that's one of our prerequisite courses for all of the other WISE education, and you can either take it or test out of it.
Okay.
And then the class that we have put the most people through, and we've been at this for 3 years and have put a little bit over 1,000 people through our various programs. Again, mostly we're based in Napa, so it's mostly people in Napa Valley, Sonoma County. We've just opened up classes down in Paso Robles, down in the central coast of California.
Okay.
And the tasting room professional course is the one where the most amount of people have attended. And so the idea is to raise the standards in the wine industry so that the quality of the guest experience matches the quality of our great wines. And really to raise that up. And because historically, this job in the wine industry, not only in Napa but across the country, has been a job that, not to say that people didn't take it seriously, but it wasn't necessarily a career path. And so there wasn't a really level of professional training focused on it, but yet it's the front face of wineries to their customers.
Exactly.
And so we're helping raise the bar.
So some of the other names of certification classes include Inside, go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah, so we have tasting room professional certification, inside sales, which is phone sales, or really raising the bar for call centers.
Okay.
Wine club professionals, online wine marketing, data analyst, which would be the CRM side of consumer direct. And then we have a whole management series: tasting room management, events management, wine club management, and then we actually have a leadership series, which has grown out of this program, where we're doing general management, demystifying finance and accounting, mastering public speaking, all of the things that people need to grow in their careers. You know, one of our goals with WISE before we started 3 years ago, actually no people, at least in Napa and Sonoma counties, heads of wineries had a consumer direct background. And one of our personal goals is to have a lot of GMs and presidents come up over the next 5 years that have a foundation in consumer direct, because it's one of the ways that it's the way that most wineries, unless two of the largest, are making, really their business model is based on profitability in their consumer direct channel. And by consumer direct, I mean tasting rooms, wine clubs, phone sales, events, etc.
Okay.
And so you have an industry being an industry where the leadership doesn't have the expertise for the major area that's driving most of their business, and we're setting out to change that.
How popular is this workshop called Social Media Workshop? I would imagine that is pretty interesting. I mean, for a lot of us, we kind of learn as we go, but some people are very intuitive about social media, and some people are just out to lunch. I mean, it's like the first time you use a mouse.
Right, exactly. So it's certainly very popular, and ironically, we have to rewrite that course once a quarter. So unlike the other aspects of WISE, where we're setting up a curriculum and building on it, that part of the industry is moving so fast that the sections on social media in all of our online wine marketing courses, as well as the workshop itself, keeps needing to be rewritten.
I see that there are so many jobs that are needed to be filled. I get this email blast every day from Wine Jobs through, what is the website? Yes,
through Wine Business, Wine Business something, yeah.
Yep. And there are so many positions specifically needed for social media, for wine, for tasting room manager, for wine club manager, huge. And what occurs to me is that there's a lot of turnover in that. Or that people, maybe, as I'm listening to you, are just not qualified. They don't have the expertise to really be able to do that job correctly.
Yeah, it's actually both. Certainly, we have historically seen a lot of turnover in the tasting room frontline staff themselves. Okay. Again, it was a job that wasn't not that high paying. It really didn't require a high level of skill set. That is changing dramatically. We are having people who come and actually make that a career. We're starting to see pay rates go up for the most qualified people, and so that's dramatically changing. And the people who used to take that job are different than who we're seeking today as an industry. But also, consumer direct is just growing. It is growing really rapidly. So one of the reasons I started WISE, I've been in different aspects of direct marketing in the wine industry for over 20 years, and about 5 years ago. We launched WISE 3 years ago, but started development 5 years ago. I got a series of phone calls, as I always do, from wineries looking for new people on the direct-to-consumer side of the house. And I'm not in recruiting. I'm just happen to point them in the right direction. But it was a really unique thing happened. Unlike the previous years when I would get these calls, we went through a period of time where I had 10 winery phone calls in the same week. And this time, they were all looking for new people on the direct-to-consumer side of the business. But this time, in 8 out of those 10 calls, the old person was still in the job, and that was different. And so it kind of gets to what you were just speaking to. What was happening is the job was changing, and we as an industry didn't have the labor pool to be able to source it. So people who used to run tasting rooms or wine clubs or online marketing and were doing fine in that position, all of a sudden, as the bar was being raised and they needed to take everything to the next level of professional direct to consumer, they didn't really have the skill set.
Yes.
And so that's why we created Wise, was to help take the people that we have and train them to a higher level, and then also be able to attract in a whole new wave of labor and management into the industry.
Let me point out here that Wise was developed by more than 40 vintners and industry experts. So what do you have a board of directors or trustees or something that help advise or
Yeah, we have a board of advisors that help lay out the original curriculum and the needs-based study that we did, and it really changed and morphed based on, for example, from the advisory group, they led us into the events management side, to the inside sales, which is the call center, two really fast growing areas for the industry, and we continue to bounce ideas off of them over time, and then from there the expanded group is we went out and sought functional expertise in different aspects of the industry, and just got the best people we could to help build up the curriculum.
And people can find the current course catalog online at wineindusтрysaleseducation.com. Yeah.
Correct.
Okay, cool. We'll have a link up for the people to learn more. Well, Lesley P. Berglund, co-founder and chairman of Wise Academy, we thank you so very much for joining us today on Wine and Dine.
Thank you for having me.
This sounds like something, gosh, I wish they weren't so far away. I'm on the East Coast, but I would love to take some of these classes. Well, you're listening to Wine and Dine, and we thank you so very much. We'll have links up for you to learn more.